One might say to themselves, why does a guy at 41 years old who couldn't play against the San Antonio Spurs because allegedly he had a bad ankle and couldn't go? We know what he's really doing, folks. He's waiting to play against lesser opponents so he can stat pad because that's what he does.
Sports commentator Craig Carton ignited controversy after criticizing LeBron James for alleged stat padding against the Dallas Mavericks, pointing out that LeBron skipped a game versus the San Antonio Spurs due to injury but then stayed on the floor with a 16-point lead and only minutes left to secure a triple-double, even grabbing a rebound meant for a teammate. The moment grew even more questionable when analyst JJ Redick reportedly called a timeout to keep Austin Reeves from collecting another board, fueling criticism that such behavior looks unnecessary and insecure for a 41-year-old superstar.
LeBron James is a fraud. LeBron James, once again, proves that he's a pat-standing clown and should never again ever be mentioned in the same breath as the greats who have ever played this great game that we call National Basketball Association basketball.
Is LeBron James truly chasing stats for his own record book? Or is Craig Carton blowing things out of proportion by questioning a superstar who spent 2 decades making history? Share your thoughts below and let us know which side you're on.
Oh, look at LeBron James, oldest guy ever to have a triple-double. Funny how his ankle wasn't good enough for him to play the night before against the San Antonio Spurs, but in a night when you have no Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks are a bad basketball team with half their roster out, LeBron James not only plays, and obviously played very well last night.
Let's break down exactly what unfolded, because the sequence of events makes the situation look far worse. LeBron James sat out the San Antonio Spurs game, saying his ankle needed rest and wasn't healthy enough for action, a reasonable explanation for a 41-year-old managing his body. But the very next night against the Dallas Mavericks, that same ankle suddenly seemed perfectly fine, not just to play, but to stay on the floor deep into a blowout. The Los Angeles Lakers were up 16 with just over 3 minutes left, the outcome fully decided, and no starter had any competitive reason to remain on the court, especially not a veteran reportedly nursing an injury. Yet LeBron refused to check out because he was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. He already had the points and the assists, and that last board would secure headlines about him becoming the oldest player in league history to reach the milestone. And this is where the entire moment crossed into truly embarrassing territory.
Against the Mavericks, I want you to walk me through this. LA Lakers up by 16 points, 3 minutes and change to go. Mavericks miss a shot, and Austin Reeves gets a rebound, and everybody starts yelling at him because that should have been LeBron's rebound to get the triple-double.
When Austin Reeves pulled down a routine defensive rebound, the exact fundamental play he's supposed to make to secure the ball and close out the game, his teammates immediately began shouting at him, because that board was meant for LeBron James. The reaction made it clear that everyone on the floor understood LeBron was still out there for one reason only: to grab that final rebound and lock in his triple-double. Reeves hadn't done anything wrong. He had simply played normal basketball, yet it was treated like a mistake because it interfered with the stat padding mission everyone seemed aware of.
After Austin Reeves gets that rebound, JJ Redick actually calls a timeout. Now I'm thinking they're calling a timeout to get all the starters out of the game because you're up by 16, 3 minutes to go, the game is a wrap. That's not why he called timeout. He called timeout so that they could tell Austin Reeves, no more rebounds. You stole a rebound from LeBron, and LeBron's not coming out of the game until he gets a triple-double. Because again, it's not about his well-being. It's not about protecting him for a playoff run. It's about stat padding. We got to make sure LeBron gets 1 more rebound so that he gets a triple-double, and then we'll take him out of the game.
That's when JJ Redick unexpectedly called a timeout, even though the Los Angeles Lakers were already up by 16 with only 3 minutes left and the game was completely decided. Normally, a late timeout like that means the starters are coming out and the bench is taking over to finish garbage time. But that wasn't the purpose here. Redick used the break to tell Austin Reeves to stop grabbing rebounds, making it obvious that LeBron James was staying on the floor until he secured the final board he needed for a triple-double. The message was unmistakable: don't crash the glass too hard, don't fight for loose balls, Just make sure LeBron gets that last rebound so everyone can finally head home.
Not healthy enough to play against the Spurs, healthy enough to play against the Mavericks without Cooper Flagg, and wouldn't come out of the game up by 16, 3 minutes and change to go until he does what? Until he stat pads, gets the extra rebound, which he stole from Hayes on his own team so that he could get the triple-double. Now let's call another timeout. Let's get him out of the game so everybody can celebrate that at 41 years old, he's good enough to get a triple-double.
It was genuinely pathetic behavior from everyone involved, especially considering LeBron James is a 41-year-old supposedly managing a bad ankle while the Los Angeles Lakers are fighting for critical playoff positioning. At this stage of the season, every game matters and every minute of rest counts, yet instead of focusing on the team's long-term success, LeBron chose to chase another personal milestone for his resume. And JJ Redick allowed it to happen. Rather than pulling his star to protect him from pointless injury risk, he left him in a meaningless situation solely to secure an individual stat line. That's coaching malpractice, prioritizing personal legacy over the team's actual needs.
But the reality is this. It was on display last night. You can choose not to see it. You can choose to change the narrative of it.
What narrative?
That was another abuse of stat padding by your self-appointed GOAT.
Craig Carton delivers a brutal point because it highlights a clear pattern. LeBron James skipped the game against the San Antonio Spurs, a tougher, more competitive matchup where the Los Angeles Lakers could have genuinely used him, yet he returned the very next night to face the Dallas Mavericks, a team missing its top player. That doesn't look like injury management, it looks like selectively choosing opponents. If an ankle is truly hurt, you sit no matter who's on the schedule. You don't pick the easier game where piling up numbers becomes more achievable. And that's exactly how this situation appears. LeBron sat out the tougher challenge and came back for the softer one, giving even more fuel to long-standing accusations that he pads his stats, a criticism that has followed him especially in the later stages of his career. There have been plenty of moments throughout LeBron James's career where he stayed in blowouts just to reach certain stat milestones, or passed up open shots so he could chase a round number in assists. But this situation stands out because it's tied directly to an injury claim. You can't say you're too hurt to play one night and then log heavy minutes the very next evening in a game that was already decided. It destroys credibility and makes people wonder whether the injury was genuine or simply a convenient excuse to avoid a tougher opponent. Supporters will trot out the familiar defenses, that he's 41 and still producing at a high level, that the triple-double proves his greatness, that he's earned the right to chase milestones after more than 2 decades in the league. And while some of that may be true, it doesn't erase how suspicious this specific situation looks. LeBron James has undeniably impressive longevity, and the fact that he's still capable of putting up triple-doubles at his age is remarkable. But none of that excuses what happened in this game. Greatness doesn't grant permission to put personal numbers ahead of team priorities, and being older doesn't justify staying in a blowout just to pad stats. Media voice Tyrone Johnson tried defending LeBron by noting that he played against the tougher Oklahoma City Thunder before skipping the San Antonio Spurs matchup, but that actually makes the pattern look even clearer. He played the hard game, sat out the easier one, then returned to rack up numbers against a depleted Dallas Mavericks. And the comparison to Michael Jordan is unavoidable. During his Wizards years in his late 30s and early 40s, Jordan played whenever he was physically able, not selectively based on the opponent or personal stat opportunities. Michael Jordan never hung around in blowouts chasing an extra stat.